What specific products does the DigiU ecosystem develop? Our extensive and growing portfolio already includes more than 30 diverse and innovative projects. Some of them were born directly within the ecosystem and have gone through their entire journey, from the initial idea to a minimum viable product to their first encounter with the competitive market, and have eventually become successful commercial products that generate a growing user base, generate consistent revenue, and so on. Most of these projects are venture fund projects. That is to say, these are projects we have invested in through our own venture fund, using classic financing tools that are well understood by the global market and allow products to develop in the right direction. And that's not all. It probably makes sense to focus on the most important areas that we have concentrated on over the past few years and will continue to focus on for the next 2 years. First and foremost, this is the fintech direction, comprehensive fintech solutions and financial technologies related to blockchain and artificial intelligence. These technologies, more than any others, are in high demand in the banking sector and in fintech solutions in general. In fact, traditional banks in any country were among the first companies to form internal divisions working with artificial intelligence and to create the first neural networks, training them on their user bases, improving customer service, and offering their audience special deals. In other words, a more precise and personalized approach to working with the audience. I myself first encountered artificial intelligence when I worked at a mobile operator and then moved into the banking sector back in 2015 to 2016. We are now focused on developing our own fintech solutions. These are solutions related to liquidity management. You can log into your personal account and see products with flexible deposit rates or with fixed deposit rates. You can place your capital starting from $500 and receive monthly returns higher than those offered by banks in most countries around the world. Investment solutions. This is the opportunity to invest in various projects both at early stages and through our venture fund. Not so long ago, we started creating AI banking cards. I will talk about this in more detail a bit later, as there is a separate question on this topic. And of course, as specialists in artificial intelligence, we are working on creating predictive systems that help forecast prices in different markets and thus profit from this. If we talk about the major projects we are focused on, I would say the following. Both projects are obviously divided into long-term, medium-term, and short-term. If we talk about long-term and medium-term projects, these are projects related to artificial intelligence. First and foremost, projects for creating highly personalized and intuitive artificial intelligence systems. This is when software and gadgets are combined to provide you with a new way to interact with artificial intelligence to solve your everyday tasks, both in daily life and at work. And perhaps a simpler analogy for what personal artificial intelligence is would be to compare it to Apple. In 1977, the company introduced a computer to the market. The unique feature of this computer was what is now commonplace: a color display, a built-in keyboard, and most importantly, user-friendly software that almost anyone could use. You didn't need special education or programming knowledge. You could turn on the computer at home and use various solutions, say a calculator or spreadsheets. This absolutely exploded the market back in 1977. And a few years later, Apple, having gone through this journey, having sold more than 6 million devices, went public. Now we know Apple as a market leader, a company with huge capitalization that essentially sets trends in personal electronics, trends in software solutions. And it all started not by inventing the computer, but by making it personal and accessible to everyone. This is the path we are following in the field of personal artificial intelligence. because several years ago it became clear that artificial intelligence is evolving in much the same way as the personal computer once did. At first, it is available to governments and large corporations. Then it becomes simpler, more understandable, and becomes a tool for specialists. This is roughly the stage we are at now when artificial intelligence technologies are mainly used by those who employ them in their work and profit from them. These can be people who use AI in trading, on the stock market, and so on, or those who use AI to create various types of content, video, photo, and text content. In general terms, those who find practical applications for it are the ones who truly understand it and profit from it, the specialists. Obviously, the next logical step is the transition from specialists to everyday tasks. The moment will surely come when artificial intelligence will be fully accessible and understandable to each and every one of you. When you will have a small, dedicated device at home, a so-called AI hub, with significant computing power, allowing you to work with a specific set of neural networks tailored directly to your personal needs, whatever they may be. These could be household tasks, tasks related to learning and education, tasks for monitoring and tracking your health, helping to improve your life indicators and increase your lifespan, monitoring your budget and suggesting certain things to optimize and improve it, helping you earn additional income and guiding you to make the right investments. In short, there are countless applications for personal artificial intelligence. Its key objectives are to improve your life and increase your income. All of this must be clear and straightforward, otherwise you simply won't be able to use it. That is, the device should work essentially at the press of a single button. Only then will it truly become a mass market device. Next year, I think we will get closer to this. We will release the first batches of our devices, which of course we will offer first to our audience, and we'll see how much demand there is for this product. We have conducted various studies over a certain period, from 6 to 18 months, on whether it is possible to form a personal artificial intelligence. That is essentially to adapt these devices to you in such a way that they become inseparably connected to you and deeply integrated into your life, making it better, bringing new qualities and features, making you more competitive, more in demand, improving your quality of life, and accordingly earning you money. Both by working with your capital and by the fact that these devices are united into a single infrastructure of decentralized distributed computing power. This is another area we are focused on, as I mentioned, areas related to infrastructure and to solving the global problem of dependency and shortage of computing power for working with artificial intelligence. So, decentralized AI, specifically the distribution of computing power, is an even more long-term project, not in terms of implementation, but in terms of applicability. This is a project we have recently started, and already next year we will show you the first prototypes and the first opportunity to connect your own decentralized computing power. As you can see, the ecosystem as a whole covers a large number of projects and technologies. We are working in a growing market, and we have a classic approach. That is, having our own venture fund allows us to do business in this market with a classic approach. And we have already managed to invest in more than 30 projects. Accordingly, we are developing our own innovative solutions of various levels, scales, and time frames, short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Thus, in such a high-risk venture market where 98% of startups are guaranteed to fail, we distribute risks in such a way that by getting a unicorn in at least one of these areas, we can recoup and multiply all the investments the company has received over this time. This is exactly how statistics work in the venture market. This is the approach we use to implement all our solutions. And in fact, we are already close to having our first unicorn in the company. We are confident that this strategy will lead to significant success for everyone involved. We believe that this is just the beginning of a very long and prosperous journey for our entire community. We look forward to sharing more updates with you very soon.